A pale dawn light filtered through low clouds as the service vessel Serenity cut across choppy North Sea swells toward GreenWind Offshore Farm's Block C. Turbine 42 stood 50 meters above the rolling waves, its three colossal blades spinning lazily at 12 revolutions per minute. Riley Chen leaned on the safety railing, coffee in hand, watching her custom inspection drone hover beside the nacelle. As an ROV pilot turned unmanned aerial technician, she had mapped countless subsea oil fields, but today's mission was simple hardware verification. The farm's control room had scheduled a routine pitch system check to ensure each blade could adjust angle under variable winds. Riley toggled her tablet's live feed, noting oil temperatures, rotor RPM, and hydraulic pressures. All readings were nominal. She sighed and watched a lone seagull circle a weather vane atop the nacelle while the horizon glowed pale orange. 30 minutes into the maintenance window, the drone's sensor array detected a sudden spike in the pitch system's oil pressure. Riley's eyes widened as she saw the gauge creep from normal operating range into the red. She tapped on the live data overlay. The pitch control feedback indicated both port and starboard actuators had locked at 90 degrees. Onshore alarms screamed that pitch system failure had escalated to an emergency lock. Riley's heart raced as she calculated the consequences. With blades fixed flat into the wind, centrifugal force and blade area would drive RPM upward. At 15 revolutions per minute, the turbine's structural integrity would fail. 1,000-kilogram counterweight at the hub, 800-ton nacelle. If those blades detached, the impact could devastate the entire farm. The control room radio crackled in her headset. Operations Manager Ward Archer on Channel 3. Riley, we have a code red. Pitch system is unresponsive. Manual shutdown sequence cannot override locked actuators. We're 60 minutes by boat to our nearest standby vessel. Without pitch control, the next overspeed event will shred the hub. You're our nearest asset. Can your drone do anything? Riley swallowed and grounded her feet on the deck. All her training said a hardware repair on a spinning blade was inconceivable. Yet months of design work on her custom dual-resin module suggested it might work. She tapped into her tablet's chat with the farm's lead engineer, Dr. Elena Morris. Elena typed back rapid-fire directives about resin viscosity, cure times, and UV lamp intensity. Riley felt a surge of confidence. She keyed the mic. Affirmative. I'm preparing the resin sprayer. Give me 90 seconds. Riley set her cup aside and dashed to the deck's equipment locker. She retrieved her resin module, which she had assembled the night before. 2 lightweight polymer cartridges snapped into quick-release mounts, feeding through flexible TIFI tubing to twin nozzles. A ring of high-intensity UV LEDs surrounded the nozzle exits. The resin mix was a proprietary polymer that cured in 5 seconds under 395 nanometer light. She clipped the module under the drone's center, attached power leads, and ran a system check. The drone's flight control unit recognized new payload mass and adjusted its thrust maps accordingly. Riley strapped on her helmet camera, checked her fail-safe throttle limits, and issued a launch command. Serenity's crane swung the drone over the deck's lip, and John, the deck officer, gave a thumbs up. Riley hit the takeoff icon. The drone rose smoothly, its propellers buffeting coarse spray from the sea. Within seconds, it hovered beneath the hub where the blade root connected to the actuator housing. Wind buffeted the platform, but the drone's magnetic hover stabilizer locked it in place. Riley brought up the close-up camera feed. The crack in the actuator housing was a hairline fracture about 6 centimeters long. Hydraulic oil dripped with microscopic beads that glinted in the dawnlight. A green hydraulic line curled into the crack, indicating system pressure forcing the fracture open. Above, blades spun with mechanical grace but deadly momentum. Riley exhaled, tapped her tablet's resin control slider to 10% flow, and pressed the spray icon. A thin jet of cerulean resin shot upward toward the crack. Droplets carried by the wind's turbulence formed a gentle arc. Behind her, in the control room, Dr. Morris watched live telemetry of resin pressure and droplet size distribution. She messaged Riley, increase flow to 20% to ensure coverage. Riley complied. The resin pooled in the recess of the fracture. She toggled the UV LED ring on. For a heartbeat, the crack glowed ultraviolet, then solid black. The resin hardened visibly, maturing from fluid gloss to rigid matte in a blur. Riley keyed the comms. Resin applied, curing complete in 5 seconds. Please test actuator. Back onshore, turbine chief technician Marcus Lin pinged the control panel. He toggled manual pitch commands. The pitch actuator whined softly, On the drone feed, Riley saw the line shift, the crack edges close, then the blade root hinge eased a fraction. Marcus punched dense vowels into his mic. Pitch control regained. RPM dropping from 15 to 12. Operations Manager Archer let out a whoop that carried across the comm networks. Riley clapped her hands in relief. The drone's autopilot guided it back to a safe hover near the generator cowl. Using the tablet, she ran a diagnostic routine on actuator performance curves. Results confirmed nominal travel and restored oil continuity. She hit the recall icon and watched the drone speed back to the deck, escorted by a flock of terns that scattered at its approach. John caught the drone mid-air with practiced hands and shut down its motors. Riley exhaled deeply, her suit clammy with adrenaline. Back at the locker, she shed her helmet and the resin module. Her gloves still smelled faintly of photoinitiator and mineral oil. The deck crew surrounded her, offering congratulations. Riley smiled but felt exhausted. She keyed her tablet's chat to Dr. Morris. Patch held. "Thank you for the guidance," Elena replied simply. "Well done." Document everything. By midday, the farm's public relations team had a video ready. Grainy drone footage. Overlay text reading: drone pilot delivers UV patch mid-spin. It went live on the farm's website and social channels. Views climbed into six figures. Within hours, commenters speculated about policy, safety, and whether drone-based mid-air repairs would become standard. Engineering forums dissected the resin's sheer strength and the drone's magnetic stabilizers. Industry trade magazines reached out for exclusive interviews. In the warmth of the break room, Riley accepted a mug of herbal tea from a fellow pilot. She watched the live feed of the turbine now turning smoothly at its designated speed. The sun's rays picked out fine mist on blade surfaces. Despite the acclaim, Riley felt the ordinary calm of duty done. She reminded colleagues that next time they should install a permanent drone port on every nacelle and stock UV-resin kits for emergency response. Marcus Lynn nodded thoughtfully and promised to draft a service bulletin. Later that week, Riley reviewed footage with the farm's safety committee. They praised her technical skill and cool head under pressure. They asked what she would change. She reflected on the wind's unpredictability, the narrow margins of time, and the critical role of sensor data. She proposed integrating drone ops into the turbine control algorithm so that upon pitch fault detection, a nearby drone would receive an automated mission upload. The committee agreed to pilot that integration on 3 more turbines. That evening, Riley logged into her personal channel, hesitated, then uploaded a brief vlog titled "Why I Saved a Wind Turbine at Dawn." She spoke not of heroism but of responsibility and the power of quiet expertise. She urged viewers to learn systems they rely on. "Whether you fly drones, sail ships, or drive trains," she said, "knowing your tools can mean the difference." Between disaster and a new dawn, as the Serenity steamed away from Turbine 42, Riley looked back at the turbine's blades glowing soft silver against a clear sky. She sipped black tea and felt a gentle pride. She had not sought the spotlight. The turbine had spoken its need in an urgent alarm, and she had answered. In the hush that followed, she understood that quiet heroes do not wait for recognition. They wait for the call. When it comes, they rise.